Hey folks, Quilly18 here, and welcome to Let's Try Crusader Kings 3 Tours and Tournaments, the latest expansion for the game that is featured, well, on Tours and Tournaments, and actually quite a few other things. It's an expansion that's going to add a lot of extra kind of role-playing and flavor to the game, but also a lot more meaningful choices for your characters and way to develop them. I actually think it's really quite spectacular. A lot of things in this expansion. Do check the description box down below for a link where you can get more information about the game, as well as where you can order it. And big shout out to Paradox for sponsoring this video. Hey, if you like the idea of Paradox paying me money to play games I'm already going to play, make sure to hit that like button and let them know they should keep doing that. We are over here in the south of France playing as the Count of Béarn. Now, I actually think we're probably going to do a full campaign Let's Play as this Count. I've been meaning to get back to CK3. It's been a little while, and I was looking around. I really like the deal with this guy. He is Occitan? Actually don't know how you're supposed to pronounce a double C in this particular case over here. They speak, it's not actually French. It's a different dialect, but we start down here. What I really like about it is the county actually has Basque culture, which is kind of cool for us to make a hybrid culture later on. But that's probably for maybe an upcoming Let's Play, which will start from like day one, not from this particular save. This save here, I want to advance to the point where the king of West Francia has decided to run a grand tournament. Now, some eagle-eyed viewers will notice a new bouton over here for activities. Some of the things that used to be decisions have been moved to activities, as well as some new things altogether. We've got these grand activities, grand tours, where you tour your own realm. You can host a grand tournament. You can have a grand wedding as well when you get married. When you propose marriage, you can actually propose to do a grand wedding for it and then run that. And then we have these non-grand, but still kind of awesome activities. You'll see feast, hunt, and pilgrimage. So some of these were things before, but now they have been dramatically fleshed out with a much greater sort of chain of events happening. You choose where you go. They're just a lot more involved, which I think is quite fantastic. And then here we can see we've got an invitation to an event, which is King Chucky's Grand Tournament. So we are absolutely 100% going to say yes, that we would love to go. So greetings, Count Santal of Béarn. I'm organizing a grand tournament in Ile-de-France. We will start with a melee, a chance to show your skill to all I warrant. So these grand tournaments can actually have multiple events, but I think they have to be unlocked with like later technologies to do like more and more things all at the same time. So right now we're just going to do one straight up melee, big old fight, and see how it goes. So yeah, it's going to be held in Paris, and it's going to take us about 4 months to get there. So we're going to go ahead and say, yes, we want to go. And we're going to take a look at this travel screen. Now, this is quite cool. This is not a simple little addition to the game, this sort of travel interface. I did go and actually play a little bit as a king and do a grand tour as well, which is quite cool. You choose like all the counties you want to go and visit. You plan out your route and sort that out. So we can see here, currently our travel time's actually going to be 7 months. Which is a pretty long time. And during that time while we're away, we're also going to have a regency, which is, the existence of a regency isn't a new mechanic, but the regency mechanic in Tours and Tournaments, or rather, I believe that one's coming with the free patch that's linked with Tours and Tournaments. The new regency system is quite different and quite involved, so we'll get into it, take a look at that. So one of the things is we currently don't have a caravan master, and that would be quite useful for us to have. So if we click here, it's just like, appointing a court physician and whatnot. We can do a caravan master, so we will get a boost to our overall speed overland, more supply. So Ramiro, one of our knights, his aptitude for it is apparently terrible. Oh man, he's craven. Dang. I don't even know if it's worth paying this guy. We're just the count, right? We have a very small court to start off with. This is somewhat less than ideal, but I guess I'll go ahead and appoint him to that anyway. There we go. So we did get a tiny bit of a speed boost and a little bit more safety put in. Because one of the things that can happen is there's actual dangers along the road. So we actually are going to be traveling through every single one of these counties, and things can happen in every single one of these counties. The color coding over here is the terrain. So you can see white over here, we've got plains. You've got brown here are the hills. And finally, green, we've got forest. And the forest adds quite a lot of danger, which makes sense. There could be all sorts of, we could get lost. There could be bandits in there, or even just wild animals. So it makes sense forests are fairly particularly dangerous. And in fact, we can get a specific little icon over each one of these provinces showing that there could be some danger. We also get a breakdown over here. We have no high danger locations, which is good, but we do have 5 medium danger spots and 1 low danger spot along the way. I think the low danger spot, yeah, it's going to be this one, the tiny little thing, Tartus. So it is forest, but we've got some extra modifiers in here to help things out. Now, we're going to have our entourage. These are people who are going to be traveling with us and attending the event in general, but we can also go and get some travel options. So a lot of our danger is coming from the fact that we're going through the forest, so it's probably a good idea for us to maybe hire some forest guides. This is going to cost us a couple of gold. This will lower the danger of forest and taiga. Guide with forest fighter, trait forest fighter. Trait will join your entourage. So if I click this, we'll see these icons change fairly considerably over here, and our 5 medium dangers have gone away completely. We still have 3 low dangers, but that is all. We can also change the track. We can hit here, customize the route, if we want to take a completely different route, you know, avoid some major dangers. This is, I believe by default, will give you the shortest route to the destination, but you might want to accept a somewhat longer route to skirt around some dangerous stuff, including going by sea, where experienced captains would certainly be useful. I'm wondering, we got cultural ambassador. We could just get some mercenary guards to increase our travel speed and safety. I mean, it's possibly overkill, but you know, let's go ahead and do that. And we shaved a month off the travel, which is good. And yeah, we've gone ahead and eliminated all the dangers. We'll still get some events, but they're more likely to be positive. So it costs us 14 gold. Let's go ahead and hit the button. So if I go and bring the speed down to 3 and unpause, there we are. We get our first event here. My liege, King Chucky is hosting a grand tournament competition in the vicinity of the Ile-de-France, and time has come for us to depart. We shall represent the House de Bern and make the Occitan people proud. Hopefully the rest of the Ile-de-France won't be as rotten as King Charles. Do I not like my liege? I mean... Well, that's Duke Anso. Huh, all right. Won't be as rotten as King Charles, but we should be wary of what goes down in the lion's den. I suppose I must go. You are attending a grand tournament. Every available unlanded knight you have will accompany you to compete. I don't have that many knights, but they're going to go. All right. So you can see here on the world map, we've actually got some movement. So this is us represented on the world map, and we'll see as we move from province to province, or rather from county to county, you will see our little face move, which is cool. The other thing you'll notice is we've got a couple of new icons down in the bottom left over here, and actually a new button added to this bar here. So if I click view travel, this is going to be very similar to the screen we were just looking at when we were setting up our travel. We can abandon the trip and just go home, decide, you know what, we're not going to go to Paris. 'Tis a silly place. We've also got this button here, which is the grand tournament event. Nice little fanfare going on. So it's set to start in 4 months. I'm a little bit worried that we might arrive late. I don't know if they're going to wait for us, but we'll do our best to get there. We are traveling quite far away. And yeah, you can choose your intention here. What's our goal? We could focus on recreation, which is going to be stress reduction. We could try to actually win. Now, we don't have any real experience here in these various contests. You can practice for the tournaments. There's a activity that you can run to try to develop a little bit of skill. And of course, things like your stats and your prowess and all that will matter. We could be looking specifically to recruit some new Knigets, which might not be a terrible idea for us because we have so few knights in our realm. We could be looking specifically to murder someone, seduce someone, or to make some friends. There's actually no chance that we're going to win. I'm actually wondering, I haven't actually hit this button before. Maybe what we'll do is we'll throw a little recruit on there and see if we can find some powerful knights to bring home. That might be the best thing for us. We can see the schedule events, planning, melee, ceremony, and then the conclusion, and then all the guests that are planning on attending. Yeah, so we'll close that out. So those are those 2 buttons, but then we got this button over here, the power sharing window. So there is a new regency mechanic that goes on. When your ruler is unable to rule because, well, in this case, we are away from home, but could also happen if we were a child or deemed incapable for some reason, we have a regent that comes up here. Now, the regent is chosen from a pool of people depending on their overall regency skill. You can designate people if you want as well. And some people are maybe more ideal than others. First of all, some people are more skilled than others, and some are more loyal. So currently, this is my wife, is my regent. She actually is pretty skillful. I went and married someone who is a genius because, you know, it's Crusader Kings, and that's what you do. And that means that overall her base stats aren't the worst. I mean, there's nothing spectacular, although the 14 stewardship is, I mean, that's not too shabby. So depending on our relationship, her traits and our relationship, she might have a different loyalty setting. So she's got a good opinion of me. She's also lazy, which is actually pretty helpful for us in this particular situation because she's less likely to want to do a power grab. Whereas if I had an ambitious wife, this could be incredibly sketchy. She could be self-interested, that we can see with some of these characters over here, for example. We can give them some mandates while we're away, what to focus on. So fill coffers, swell armies, promote authority. I'm okay with filling coffers. I think that's a perfectly fine thing to do. Greedy regents might fill their own pockets as opposed to your treasury. There's also this power scale over here. So your regent can make various moves to try to gain more and more power for themselves, which might mean not giving up the regency. I'm not really worried about this with my wife because her loyalty is not so terrible and things. We can also try to swing the scales back to us. And then at some point, what's going to happen is the reason for which there's a regency will come to an end. And then the question is, will they give up power or not? In this case, that's going to happen when I return home. And so it should be okay. There's the liege's power sharing, because theoretically the liege, higher liege entered regency. Oh, that's my duke. Yeah, the duke is probably traveling to the tournament as well. So he's got a regency going on over there. The king may not have one because the tournament's actually in Paris itself. So they actually might not need a regency in this particular situation. I'm not sure. So yeah, we may get some events going on there, which could be very fun. I think, I don't remember. There's a spot where, oh, I think it's under realm. Yeah, there you go. We get a regent option over here. So this is bringing up this screen now, the one we're just looking at. But this button is also going to be available when we don't have a regency, and this is where we can help to pick and choose our regent, unless I have remembered incorrectly. Okay, we've got a travel event here. Local hero. As we traverse the fields, trudging through the mud, we encounter a modest wayward shrine. Naively carved, it sports a cross at its head and below the weathered word. Here lays Saint Heloise of Aquitaine, blessed daughter of Angoulême. Saint Heloise of Aquitaine, it seems a local spiritual figure is being patronized in these parts, one not sanctioned by the Catholic clergy. So we have some options here. We could cast down the heterodoxy, so we would gain some piety, because we're just saying, listen, this isn't a real saint. You know, you guys are doing something wrong. We're going to go and smash your little shrine. So we get desecrated tome over here. So the clergy approves of this because, you know, it's correct for us to stick to the actual church teachings. On the other hand, we will get a big debuff to popular opinion, which isn't fantastic. That way lies peasant revolutions. Also, the count, who presumably lives in this province here, is going to not like me very much. And so Saint Heloise, that has a nice ring to us. We could lose money because we have patronized local saints, which the clergy doesn't like, but popular opinion is good. We are zealous, so we'd actually gain stress from this option, but the local count would like us, and then the county itself would gain this local saint modifier, which would increase their holding taxes. Now, that's not my county, so that doesn't benefit me, but it's that. Or we could just skip out altogether. I guess if I am zealous, I feel like I should roleplay myself. Gregarious, content, zealous, thrifty clerk. I'll go ahead and say I'm going to cast down the heterodoxy just because it seems like what this character might do. We'll do that. I like how we got the forest background from our traveling here, which is great. Travel. A duel demanded. An imposing man is standing on the road ahead of us. I am Jocelyn of Rufek. I have bested dozens of men in combat, and honestly, all those fights were dull. So here I am on this road, looking for someone better than me, someone I can learn from. If you can best me in combat, I will become a valuable and loyal servant. And so, on this day, I demand to meet one of you in a fair fight. So this guy's got 9 prowess. We've got 8, which isn't too bad. We could also get Aramon, one of our Knigets, to go and do it. He's got a prowess of 12. So option 1, I have no interest in you or a fair fight. Whole entourage tramples Jocelyn. Travel plan will be resumed. We will be delayed 30 days. Well, I think with the delay of 30 days happen regardless, so we can trample them. You might be less valuable after a win, so we will do a prowess challenge, which is basically going to be a coin toss for us. If we lose we lose prestige, entourage member loses opinion, we could also become wounded, which isn't ideal. We could recruit this person to our court. I don't think they're that important to recruit, to be honest. We could just have airmen do it, which means we take ourselves out of the prestige game. I guess we'll do this. We'll have Airman, the knight. He's our best fighter, presumably. Airman, Jocelyn wins the fight. Airman gained the trait wounded. All right, well, better him than me. Travel, weird whispers. We're what, about halfway? Maybe a little past halfway. I've noticed that Emmanuel... All right. Manuel avoids me more than usual. He always sits at opposite end of the table whenever we're invited to a feast and consistently refuses my company while camping. We may not have the best of relationships, but that attitude is starting to tire me, especially when I overhear him defaming me. Centaur is an abhorrent bampot, and I'd be a way better count than him. Really? Want to know how it is? I'll show you. Prowess challenge, coin flip. You can get Ramiro to scold him. Gonna end your days in the dungeon, just imprison him for a reason, so no one will think of me as a tyrant. Get out of my sight now. We just boot him out completely. Or is that the wind I hear? I can ignore him. I don't know if we can really... And we would, if we lose, we are guaranteed to get wounded, which I don't think I like the idea of. I don't really want to imprison him. We kind of need an... Although he's kind of a... He's a rival? You know what? You're gonna end your days in the dungeon. Tough. Tough, tough, tough. Oh yeah, we got accolades too. Hold on. Ooh, okay. Let me get my learning trait over here because I actually am a stewardship character, but I want learning here just so I could grab pedagogy because I am trying to learn Basque so that I have a better chance of doing a hybrid culture. Because again, this is not to do with the expansion, but Baron is Basque, which means hybrid culture is going to be an option if we can get our acceptance to 40%, which is rising on its own, but it'll be that much better if I've got the language. So that's why I did that. But once I can change my my focus, I'll probably switch back to stewardship after that. What was I about to do? Oh yeah, the accolades. Under military over here, and the Kniggets. We've got our accolades here. So I have a Bronze Knight special title for Stalwart Thugs over here. And yeah, these can level up these accolades and get extra traits and rank up. And then these can also be picked up by a successor, although right now we don't currently have a successor for that role. And yeah, we'll be able to get more accolades later as our innovations, legacies, and cheers level up here. We'll do that, but we need more good knights as well to do that. But these accolades are a whole other system, which is great because, like, if you do any of the reading, if you read like, you know, anything like the La Mort d'Arthur or anything like that, you know, those real like medieval writings, there were so many knights that had these names, a Green Knight and such, and it's nice to add extra flavor to them. Travel, a lowly delicacy. On our way through Châteaudun, we appear to have stumbled on a local food market. Everywhere, peasants and nobles of every culture and tongue clamor around exotic food stalls, the air thick with fragrances I had never imagined. My nose is drawn to a lowly stall stacked with a dish I could only dream of. I am pulled out of my haze by the halting grasp of Anso. Do not waste your palate on this slop, my lord. Bowls of stew are for peasants. We have much finer food at home. But stew's good. I can say, I am the count and I want a bowl of stew. So we have so we're going to lose prestige regardless. Random chance of burning off some stress. I do have a little stress and get the good meal tray for 2 years. But we could get a nauseating meal. We could even become ill. We're going to say, I can't believe I almost ate this garbage, which will make the answer like me a little bit more. Again, I don't think, you know, I don't think I really want to get the tummy rumbles on the way to meet the king. So we'll play it safe. We'll avoid the stew, even though it does sound like it smells delicious. Right, and we are just finishing our travel now. We've arrived at the tournament. There you go, 7 days until it begins. I believe for a lot of these events, they do wait until everyone has arrived, so the start of the event can be delayed. I've arrived at the site of the tournament here in Ile-de-France, although not all the revelers have yet arrived. Throngs of people wander through the colorful surroundings, all looking forward to the forthcoming displays of skill and prowess. It's quite loud, too. I've already seen plenty of candidates ripe for induction into the ranks of my knights. Right, because I'm shopping for new Knights. Just in case, I'm going to bring down the sounds a little bit here. Okay, as I do that, the fanfare goes away. I guess maybe that was just when the screen pops up. All right, I can't wait for it to start. Boop. All right, time's still going on. More music. There we are. Melee contest begins. A clear divide has been drawn between the two teams, who stand across from each other, taunting as they prepare their equipment and whisper plans. Horses are readied in the background, the chargers winning and harumphing. It will be a brutal day's work. This should be good. I like how we get a breakdown of the favored contestants over here. I'm definitely not going to be one of them because I'm just not that good. Engaged in melee, 30 days until it ends. To the field! Oh, I didn't even qualify for it. All right. And yeah, we can leave this open, or we can close it and go back to the world map. But let's go ahead and leave this open for now. Let's bring the speed up a tick. Ooh, so we got 10 days still until it ends. Grand Tournament, a lucky lass. She looks like she's maybe taking a horse kick to the head here, so I don't know how lucky she is. My gaze drifts over the crowd. The general hubbub flows around me, and all spectators engaged in conversation or geeing up. Geeing up. I'm not familiar with that word. The contestants. I mean, it feels like, by context, it probably means like checking them out. All apart from one, I noticed. Ermentrude is staring directly at me. Our gazes lock before she immediately breaks eye contact, flitting her eyes around anywhere other than me. Normally I'd be suspicious, but the bitten lip and constant stolen glances back to check if I'm still watching tells something of a different story in this case. Well. I mean, you're currently pregnant. You are wounded indeed. Oh, you're the daughter of the king? You're the married daughter of the king. Well. She gains 50 opinion in you. I lose stress because I'm gregarious. Or I'm here to watch, not flirt. I gain charm resistant and lose stress anyway. Well. I mean, we're not doing anything. It's okay. You know, we just wink back. It's fine. Totally innocent. Great artwork, huh? There's some good loading screens too. I mean, there's always new loading screens with the expansions, but I really like the ones for this. Melee, the final blows. Both teams are nearly even. Who wins will come down to a hair's breadth. The rhythmic clanging of metal on metal continues to split the air. The spectators, arrayed loosely on the distant edges of the fray, urge their favorites on, even as more and more contestants fall victim to ransom and ruin. I can see the heralds beginning to make their way onto the field to signal the conclusion of the event. The end draws near. Not long to go. Melee contestant winners. Trumpets sound. The crowd clamors. Competitors begin to assemble. The contest is over, and one team's limelight is being readied. A herald steps forward, voice booming out across the scene. Limelight is, it's got to be anachronistic in this case, right? Because I think limelight specifically does refer to like artificial lighting used in theater and stuff like that. I don't know, maybe not. After many trials, some tribulations, and above all else, some... it's bugging me. I'm going to have to look up the etymology of that and what the deal is with limelight. It feels anachronistic, but maybe it's not. And above all else, some truly spirited competition. We have our winners. Duke Anso's team beat King Charles. So Duke Anso is my liege, the Duke of my area. He beat the King's team. Is that good? Is that bad? I don't know. A thrilling sport, even to spectate. What a chaotic sport. So qualifying knights. So we did have 4 knights that qualified. And yeah, the contestants on the winning and losing team both get some goodies. Unfortunately, we are not one of those participants, which is unfortunate because we didn't qualify. We're still young though. 25. Hopefully we can come back with some better skill next time. The sun comes down on the final day of the tournament and the massed crowds begin to disperse. I find myself ruminating over the results. Duke Anso's team carried the day in the melee. I was unable to find any good candidates to join the ranks of my knights. I look forward to the next one. What a great occasion. I gained tourney goer for 5 years. Reduction in stress. All right, that's handy. All right. I think these are the same values again here. Finish Grand Tournament. and then we're heading back home. We'll finish that trip, and then we'll finish the video. Oh right, the Pope gave me a claim on the Duchy of Brittany. Maybe the King will, the King of France, maybe he's going to be willing to push it for me. We'll see. What the duck? On the day on the road has been fairly calm and nondescript so far. We are somewhere outside La Haye, and I close my eyes as my mount brings me forward, one solid step at a time. As the wind plays a magnificent melody through the treetops, another noise is carried by the breeze, and not from our entourage. Is that quacking? I isolate the sound to be coming from a shrubbery on my right-hand side. That's a good omen. Duck quack for 5 years. What? The quacking of a duck can have a remarkably soothing effect. What? Follow that duck. You follow the duck for a while. Ich pesky foul. Oh, what? Okay, I'm gonna follow the duck. What the hell's going on? That's not a duck. What? I'm so confused. I dismount and locate the duck in the nearby shrubbery. It starts waddling off in the wilderness, and I follow by foot. As I stray further and further from my entourage, a chill creeps down my spine. Is something watching me? Suddenly, a wolf shows up the edge of the underwood. It snorts and looks at me with angry eyes. This is bad. On guard. Okay, option 1, prowess challenge. Kind of a coin flip. Oh, this is for me to run away. Ran like the wind. Oh, it would be a prowess. I do gain some stress. Might become wounded. Could die. So 1 in 20 chance of dying. Or on guard. So, okay. So my odds seem to be a little bit better if I fight. Yeah, let's fight the wolf. Although we don't get the ran like the wind trait, which is unfortunate. Because that's actually pretty nice. That's 10 years of +1 prowess. On the other hand, prestige is pretty valuable too. And we get it even if we get beat up. Alright, on guard. Look at my character's face. Look how scared he looks and how content he looks over here as a contrast. Success! Gain 150 prestige and 19 stress. Danger, tempting fruit. Our road takes us through the treacherous parts of La Haye. While I scan for any dangers ahead, a rustling bush grabs my attention. Could it be a wild animal? As I brace myself for impact, Asnar jumps out of the bush instead, holding a plant. My steward and knight. You scared me, Asnar. Anyway, let me see what you have there. Some sort of fruit, I exclaim. Yes, it looks and smells so delicious. I wonder what it tastes like. Maybe I'll just take a little bite, he says. Hold on, what if it's poisonous? So possible outcomes, we both gain unknown plant rash. Or it could be a harmless plant, we get learning lifestyle experience. Oh, this might be specifically related to my learning lifestyle. Or we could let Asnar eat it. So he could get unknown plant sickness. I could still gain a learning lifestyle experience. And it's possible that it gives him unknown plant bliss for boost of prowess and stress. Do we let him just eat it? I mean, I don't think that's so bad for us. I don't know what the odds are. So it looks like either way, there's a chance of learning lifestyle experience, and I don't know how to break that. Tell you what, you know what? Go ahead and eat it. I'm going to watch for science. He gains unknown plant sickness for 5 years. Sorry, Asnar. Travels to come. During journeying through Saint-Onge, I pass by a peculiar-looking tent splayed open with its yet more peculiar-looking occupant inside. Come in, O mighty Count. I can tell you have many miles to go, and I can offer you a reading of your future travels for a modest price. Strange man has piqued the interest of my entourage, but am I willing to pay for a reading? Tell me, wise one. So, coin flip, lose $5, which, I mean, that is like 4 months of income for me. Lose some, if good, such pure coin flip. Lose stress, good omen, bad omen. I'm not interested. Interesting. I gain stress because I'm zealous and gregarious. So, I mean, gregarious, I guess I can see why it might gain stress. Because I'm zealous, I would almost think the opposite. Because this is just some random fortune teller, and would I be into that as a zealous character? Seal the tent and have this witch burned. Oh, maybe this might be counteracting some of it with the zealous compared to the gregarious. So this kills the person. I gain 50 piety, 10 dread. I only gain 5 stress because I'm zealous. Burn it down. Oh my god, more events! Danger sticks in the wheel. Bank! I hear Unis. Wait, is my wife with me? She shouldn't be with me. She should be running my castle, no? I hear Unis shout out in panic. Soon thereafter, I hear a loud cracking sound, like that of a wood breaking or of my patience finally snapping. I step out onto the grass to see the splintered remains of wagon wheel. My wagon wheel! I'm sorry, my husband. It was my turn as lookout. I fell asleep at the reins. By the blood, we're going to be late. At least, it's not late for the tourney. It's just coming home. Delayed by 5 days, or we can shuffle the supplies around. I'll ride rough from now on. Spend 75 prestige. Still delayed by 2 days. It's just going to save us 3 days. No, let's not worry about that. We'll repair it properly. I've played enough Oregon Trail to know how this works. Travel, the Metal Man. So many events happening on the way back. Surely a stroll through Bordeaux is a gift from God. The tranquility of this place is suddenly and abruptly broken by the furious grunts and clattering of armor. Hark! Get me out of this metal prison! My squire took offense at my manner, even going so far as to call me heartless, and has abandoned me! Whatever the strange man did could not have been enough to justify being stuck forever in his armor. I could, of course, have someone help him, but is it truly worth it? He's stuck in his armor because he doesn't have a squire anymore. Consider the armor gone for a price. Gain money, get a weak hook. Offer him loyal squires for his fealty. Recruit him to the court. Stats are pretty bad. He doesn't have the prowess. He's not going to be one of our knights. He could potentially be a marshal, but I think we've got better than the 13. Leave him to his fate. Just gain prestige. Tell you what, I'm going to make some of my money back from this trip. I don't think I need the hook on this guy, especially if he's not going to be in my my court, but there we go. Another one. Travel, a knight errant. Ooh, 20 marshal. Prestige isn't godlike, but the 20 marshal. It is known that the people of Lagon seem to profess a special devotion towards their knights and their legends. My lord, the knight says, bowing his head, it is most fortunate that you and I came to meet at this crossroad, for I'm in search of a marvelous fountain which water is said to cure all illness. If you were to help me in my quest, I shall pay homage to you. Francesca is quick to interrupt. Wait, my lord, I know this knight. It's... Yeah, Pear? Pear. Yeah. I shall never leave a knight unattended. Lead the way. Follow the knight. We're delayed by 3 days. Or, Francesca, make him see reason and join our court. Join our court, becomes knight. Well, I want him to join our court and become a knight. But I also want to see what the deal is with this fountain. Hopefully we can still recruit him at the end of this. So let's go with option 1. Knight Errant, the quest. The knight leads us to a small clearing where a natural fountain glimmers. The light reflects on its surface with a blissful shimmer, and it makes the water look so bright that it feels like a second sun. Careful! A beast! A guardian! The knight points at a stag, standing between us and the fountain. Don't fear, I shall fight it. Okay, so if we succeed, he becomes the owner of healing water, a trinket. If we fail, the healing water is destroyed. Although he does join our court and everything. I'll distract it, you get the water. Distraction works. You gain healing water legend for 15 years. He becomes the owner. But I could become wounded and destroyed. What are our odds here? About the same. Or now you shall make a fine distraction. Oh, I just steal the holy water and, tell this guy to screw off. Oh, number 1 is Knight Errant Training. So it looks like 1 and 2 are basically equivalent, with 1 being a little bit better odds for us. Some slight differences. I think I actually prefer Healing Water Legend. Are the odds so close that I may as well just do this? Yeah, all right. I'll distract it. You get the water. Distraction works! Awesome. So, yeah. I keep wanting to say Pierre, but it's like the other way around. So Pear becomes the owner of healing water, which I don't know. Maybe we can somehow inherit it later. I don't know. But yeah, we get healing water legend for more piety, and we do get our knight added afterwards, which is great. We actually have a worthy successor. We do. There we are. I don't like that he doesn't like me that much. Thought we would have had a good relationship. And we're back home! At long last! I'm finally home. There's nothing better than arriving back in Bern after a long journey. I look forward to resting for some time, but the call of the road beckons ever onwards. My caravan master Ramiro reports that we've journeyed for 232 days and traversed 35 baronies. I'll never forget when I was ruthlessly attacked by a wild beast when I was following a duck into the wilds at Lahey Plains. Thank God I can go inside again. My regency ended, and my wife, the Countess, gained a bunch of prestige for running my realm so well while I was away. And that brings us to the end of this video. I think that's a pretty good indication, I would say, about the kind of extra activities that happen there. The Grand Tour, I gotta say, is really cool. We can't run it because we're just a count, but this Grand Tour thing where you actually walk around your realm is really awesome as well. And there's lots of options. We can't see it on this character here, for what kind of tour, what your goal is in all that, with a few different perks. I haven't seen the Grand Wedding yet. I'm very excited to do one of those, but it's pretty expensive, so it's gonna have to wait until we're a pretty high level character, you know, with some good money in the bank before it justifies that. I haven't run the new pilgrimage or the new feast, but the new hunt mechanic is very cool. And yeah, you get some cool mouse overs with this, and you even get some more options. We can actually start the planned hunt. Do we want to specifically do hunting? Get a breakdown of what we might get here. Falconry, and then these legendary hunts, but we need legendary sighting before we can start doing that. I love the extra details that are added in that. You know, Crusader Kings 3 is like at its best when it's a strong role-playing game, right? Rather than map painting game. And I think Tours and Tournaments is doing great things for that. So again, as a reminder, this was a sponsored video. Do check the description box down below for information on Tours and Tournaments. There'll, I'm sure, be a link down there that you can click. Speaking of clicking things, hitting that like button is very, 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 very helpful. And I do plan on starting a CK3 actual Let's Play, or possibly live stream. I don't know if it's going to be YouTube Let's Play or a live stream yet, but I'm hoping to start one very soon. This next week is crazy busy, but we're going to see what we can do. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.